Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to install or upgrade to a solid state hard drive in a laptop computer. The one I'm working on is a Dell Inspiron 557. So the reason that I'm doing this is it takes a very long time, if the computer is shut down or locked, to kind of start up the computer, get to Windows, even get to Internet Explorer. I mean, we're talking like 20 minutes just to get logged in, everything to pull up, and then open up like an Internet Explorer browser. So just taking a super long time to do anything. So here we go. So right now I'm just taking out all the screws and the back cover, to get to the inside of the computer. So this is all really fast. The job was pretty simple, so I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So right there I'm taking out the optical drive, and then there's 3 screws underneath the optical drive that you have to take out as well. So right here I'm going around the edges with it's like a pick, like a guitar pick, and a little plastic, another plastic pick, just to pop the plastic free, and going around. So pretty easy to get off. Now I'm inside the computer, and there's the hard drive there. So it's currently just a regular disk drive. And so there's a connector cable. You could probably get the hard drive out without taking this off, but it's easy to take off and just to get out of the way before you pop out the hard drive. So prior to doing all this, I had created a Windows recovery on a USB. It's pretty simple to do. You can look it up online, but once you get that ribbon out of the way, there's 3 screws that hold this hold the hard drive in. And then, you have to take out the SATA cable there. So that was a little more difficult. I was using one hand, obviously. I was holding the camera in one, but so I used 2 hands to get it out, but not too bad. And then the hard drive actually sits in this little, I think they call it a caddy, but there's 4 screws holding it in. And so it's 2 metal edges with a plastic cover. So this is the solid state hard drive that I got. It's from Crucial. I just got online and ordered it. That piece there is a spacer, because I think my old hard drive is probably like a 9mm or 9.5 millimeter, and the new one is 7 millimeters thick. So they sent a spacer, and I'll show you in just a second kind of how that fits on, but it takes up the extra thickness, and that way your cables align when you put it back in. If you don't have it, I don't know if it's a huge deal, but you set it right down on the top, or that's actually the bottom, but you can see that it sits nice and flush now with the caddy that's there. So put it back in. Again, it's just as simple as swapping it over, and then put the 3 screws back in. So there is a way to clone Windows over. If you have a USB to a SATA cable, you can actually hook up this hard drive while the other hard drive is still in and clone Windows. But like I say, I used a recovery USB to put Windows back on the computer, and I'll go through that here in just a second. So I'm putting the cable back in, and then just pop down that black clip there. And here goes installing the plastic cover back on the computer. And I'm not going to show it, but I put all the screws back in, of course. Well, here I'm just showing pressing it down. And then, now I'm going to turn it over and put all the screws in. So I laid all the screws out on a white cloth there, just so I know where they all went back in. So here I am. It's put back together. I've got my USB drive, and you tap F12. This window comes up, and use your arrow keys, and basically say you want to boot from the USB. And then this walks through a series of steps, your language, keyboard input, or layout. And then again, you just walk through the steps. So I got to this point, and there's a few options. So I want to recover from the USB drive, basically recover Windows. It takes a little minute, and then there's two options here. So I click the top one, the just remove my files. So this kind of resets everything back to, whenever you did your recovery. And then there's some wording here, just telling you about the recovery. So when I hit go, and then I'll skip to the different screens that pop up as I'm going through this. So, this is just saying, you had a configuration change, you want to continue. And then it boots back up. Again, a few more Windows options. You just select your, your language, time zone, things like that. And then hit next there. And again, another window pops up if you accept all the legal stuff. Of course, read it all. Then it's asking for Wi-Fi. Put in your password for your Wi-Fi so it can connect to the internet. Yeah, and then here it is, just kind of going through the process. Back in a moment. Okay. It's asking for password here, then create an account. So it kind of blows everything away. Anything that you had. So I'd saved everything on an external hard drive, all my files, pictures, important documents, and things like that. But I just pulled up the C drive here, and you can see that it's reading the new hard drive. It's showing that it's there. And then I'm going to go into okay. Here's some updates that needed to be installed. So there's a ton of updates. So before replacement, the hard drive was running at 100%, you can see there. And then after I replaced it, it's so you can see 7%. So anyways, that was the reason that my computer is running so slow. So if your computer is running slow, you might consider something similar. A few specific things to remember, or that I did. So I replaced it was a 500 gigabyte disk drive, and I replaced it with a 500 gigabyte solid state hard drive. One other thing to remember is before you do any of this, you want to create some type of recovery, or you can clone your existing Windows over to the new hard drive if you have that specific cable. But basically, when you do this, if you do a recovery off of a USB, you're going to lose everything on your computer. So, just remember to back up everything, create a recovery drive, do all that prior to swapping out your hard drive. Now, is it completely lost? No, it's still on the old hard drive. It should still be on the old hard drive, but just to make it nice and smooth, where you don't have to redo everything. Make sure you got it backed up, a recovery drive, or your Windows cloned over. Again, there's some pretty good instructions online how to do that recovery drive or clone. Like I say, recovery drive was easy for me, so that's what I did. Anyways, thanks for watching.